One of the biggest challenges for women with ADHD is keeping on top of our houses. It's a fucking nightmare. The state of our house is often all tied up in our sense of self-worth. It can feed into our feelings of failure. Am I failing as a partner, as a mum, just as a woman in the world? Why isn't my house clean and tidy? Why do people find it so easy to stay organised and my house is just a disaster all the time? And as a 45-year-old mum of 3 with ADHD and in perimenopause, here are some things that have helped me to hack my ADHD, to work around the issues that I have with executive function, organisation, working memory, object permanence, time blindness, in order to make my house a functional, clean and tidy and pleasant living space. So as I've talked about before, clutter is really detrimental to ADHD brains. Visual clutter creates noise in our heads that stops us from being able to relax. We find it incredibly overwhelming. The more clutter builds up, the less likely we are to be able to deal with it. It's just a whole spiral. So the less stuff you have in your house to organise, the better. And I cannot stress this enough. You need to declutter your shit. I know it's difficult, and I will do more videos on how practically we can do this. But one thing that has worked for me in the last few months is completely reorganising my kitchen. We've lived in this house for 11 years, and things had ended up just being organised in a way that wasn't really working for anybody. So for example, emptying the dishwasher. This is a huge task for me. I don't know why. It's a minor job that takes a few minutes, but something about the amount of steps involved in this task really frazzles my brain. So I moved my cupboards around. When we first moved into this house, this cupboard was where we kept all the crockery. The dishwasher is here. So as soon as you open the dishwasher, you can't actually put any crockery away. And it sounds so stupidly simple when you think about it, but it took me years and years and years to actually work out the pattern that I was having to empty the dishwasher onto the side, then close the dishwasher, then put the stuff away in the cupboards. It was just never happening. So now I've switched all my cupboards around. This is for big pots and pans that I use much less frequently, and the cupboards that are more accessible are where the cups and the plates and the crockery live. Another thing that really helps is remembering that these small jobs are small jobs. It can be really difficult with ADHD to do the small jobs, because where somebody without ADHD might see emptying the dishwasher as a small task, takes a few minutes, it's obvious, why don't you just do it? But for somebody with neurological differences like ADHD, we see that as about 10,000 micro jobs that need doing. I have to go to the kitchen, I have to open the dishwasher, I have to visually sort the things in the dishwasher, then I have to think about where they're going, how to put them away, what to do. So the more I can contain those jobs into batches, the easier it is. So simple things that work for me sometimes are to separate out the crockery as I put it in the dishwasher. Basket's got little separate things. If I put all the forks, all the knives, all the spoons, then when I come to empty the dishwasher, that's one less job. Don't ask me why this works, it just does. And then having the cups and plates in a low cupboard that's right next to the dishwasher means less movement. My brain finds that easier to compute. Drawer organisers, game changer. Being able to open the drawer and immediately see that everything is laid out is much better than my previous system of just shoving everything in a drawer. I cannot stress this enough. The fewer steps involved, the more friction you can remove from household tasks, the more likely you are going to be able to complete them in a timely fashion when they need doing. So for example, this morning I got in the shower and I realised the shower was dirty. So I thought, excellent, I'll get out the shower and I'll clean it. I got out of the shower, the bathroom spray wasn't in the bathroom. Somebody's used it down here, God knows why, I don't know what goes on in my house. Now, on a normal day, that would have been enough to have jinxed that whole job. I just wouldn't have done it. By the time I've come downstairs, looked around the house for the bathroom spray, gone back upstairs, the impetus has gone, or I've completely forgotten that that was the job I was going to do. So it is vital for my brain that I have batches of cleaning stuff in the rooms that I'm going to use them in. They need to be there, they need to be accessible. Same with things like keeping the toilet roll in the bathroom. We used to keep the toilet roll in that cupboard, and there are 3 bathrooms in this house, and I'd run out of loo roll in one bathroom, and do you know what I'd do? I'd go and grab it out of the next nearest available bathroom, rather than come all the way downstairs to get the big batch of toilet roll. And things like this that just seem like they should be so obvious aren't immediately obvious in my cluttered, overwhelmed brain. So now I keep whole packs of toilet roll in or near to each bathroom in the house. Laundry. I have a basket for dark laundry and a basket for white laundry. I wash it, and then as I take it off the drying rack, or the, what's it called, laundry dryer, whirligig in the garden, as I take it off, I separate it into separate baskets, one for me, one for Rob, one for Molly, one for William, and it goes straight away into their bedrooms. That's their shit to deal with. Then I don't have to worry about it. I can put my own stuff away. That is a huge amount of friction removed from doing the laundry. So do I have all my shit together? No, I absolutely do not. Are these a few things that have worked for me? Yes, they are. I hope you find them helpful. I'm going to do a video on what happens when those systems break down and how it's important to keep in mind that it hasn't all gone to shit. We can sort it out. We can do this, because something else that happens with ADHD is that we get completely overwhelmed when the system falls apart. And if we're not careful, that might be the end of the system, and you need to remind yourself constantly that this is fine, we can pick this back up again and start again. So this is what I woke up to this morning. This is an example of the system falling apart. We went out for dinner last night. I've been really busy with work, so I haven't been keeping on top of putting stuff away, washing up after meals, whatever. You all know the drill. It's an absolute nightmare. It's not laziness, it's just a lack of coping skills and executive function. So by reminding myself that this job should only take about half an hour, it actually took 20 minutes, by having a place for everything that's accessible and in easy reach and makes sense in my brain, I'm able to hack my instincts to just leave it because it's too overwhelming and get over that, get it done and make it into this. Look, it's not perfect. It's not going to win any awards, but it's a tidy, peaceful kitchen, job done.